Hey guys, good morning. It is 6:10 in the morning. Just finished my workout, and I'm about to get my coffee. Um, we're going to talk today about the Tang Soo Do Tenets, which is something that's definitely part of the martial arts. Every art, every style has tenets or a code of conduct, like the Japanese samurai have Bushido. Tang Soo Do, it's the tenets, and they're very important because it's kind of a guideline that Tang Soo Do practitioners are supposed to live their life by. And any warrior, whether it's martial artist, whether it's in the military, there's codes of conduct. The military has a code of conduct. The Army, the Marines, they all have the code of conduct. And we're supposed to live by that. It raises you to a higher level. It doesn't mean you're better than anybody else, but it's a standard that you're supposed to hold yourself to. If you hold yourself to a higher level, your chances of success are greater than those that just kind of, fumble through and get by with the minimum. So let's go take a seat and let's go talk about Tang Soo Do tenets. All right, let's get moving. I don't know about you guys, but I like my coffee black. No sugar, no cream, straight up black. I guess it's an army thing. And no Folgers. No Folgers. Spanish, Cuban, Colombian coffee only. That's it. Spanish coffee. We go to the Spanish store, get our coffee. All right. Okay, there's 7 Tang Soo Do tenets. All right. And a tenet is a belief that, in this case, Tang Soo Do, that a belief that the Tang Soo Do student should live by these principles to be an upstanding citizen, to be true warriors, and to represent the art and themselves and develop themselves completely as a whole. All right. So there's 7 of them. We're going to go over each one of them briefly. All right. Living a life with integrity, having integrity is part of, life. People that have integrity are trusted. You don't want your bank officer or your doctor to not have integrity. You don't want somebody stealing from you. You want somebody that's honest. You want somebody that has integrity and is going to do things honestly, and if they screw up, they own their own screw ups. They admit it. They make a right by it. Just living a life of integrity is expected. It's a desired trait whenever you're looking for, and whenever you go into a business and you're dealing with a business, a contractor, a plumber, whatever, you expect that business to have integrity. If they sell you a shoddy product, do shoddy work, you expect them to have integrity, do it right the first time anyway. But if they don't, you expect them to have the integrity to make it right. So integrity is huge. Number 2 is concentration. Concentration doesn't seem like a big deal. Why is it even on there? Because being able to concentrate on each task that you are dealing with is something that's becoming harder and harder to do in society today, with the social media, people, all these things going on and drawing for our attention. When you're at work, like say at work, all right, if you're at work, how many times at work, if you have your phone with you, do you pick up your phone every time you hear it buzz because you got a notification on something, whether it's Facebook, a text, what have you? How many times do you get distracted and look at it? Concentration on what your task is at hand enables you to do a better job at that task, get it done quicker, get it done right the first time, so that you're not doing things over and over again, making mistakes, those types of things. In the case of training in the martial arts, concentration is critical, because there's so many things that, especially when you're starting out, there's so many things that you have to pay attention to: your body mechanics, your placement of your feet, your placement of your hands, all of these things. If you're not concentrating on what you're doing, you're not doing it to the best of your ability. So concentration is very important. Number 3, perseverance. To me, perseverance is probably one of the most important tenets in this list. Perseverance is the ability to persevere, to go on no matter what you face. No matter if you fall on your face, you fail, you stumble, somebody beats you down, you lose your job, you know, whatever life obstacle there is, and whether life knocks you flat on your back, bloodies your lip, you get back up. You persevere. You find a way. You dig deep and you stand back up. You persevere. You go on. You go forward and you get through. You break through. You climb over whatever. You get past that obstacle and you move on. Perseverance is critical to be able to deal with life, because honestly, I've said it before, the chances of facing a physical attack on the street in your lifetime and having to fight for your life, the chances of that are very slim, at least now, these days. All right? Can't say what it's going to be like in the future. But each and every one of us, every single person on the planet, has daily struggles and fights that they deal with every single day. And perseverance, developing perseverance, enables you to not only face them, stand back up, but knock them on their ass and continue forward. Number 4, respect and obedience. I know, respect, you caught. Obedience, you got a problem with, right? All right, respect and obedience. Let's take them one at a time. Respect, having respect for others, having respect for authority figures, having respect for yourself. Respect, not respect what people think of respect. People think that a title, if they have a certain title, they deserve respect. While that's kind of true, respect is earned. All right, respect isn't just given. You can give like a basic respect to somebody, like the police, people in authority, principals, stuff like that. You can give them the basic respect that their title is due, but deep, true respect is earned. And we'll get into that when we cover it in detail. Obedience. Everybody's got a problem with that. That word, obedient. It's almost like you are somebody's slave or something, being obedient. The definition of obedience is compliance with an order, request, or law, or submission to one's authority. So obedience is just compliance, doing what you're told, especially to someone in authority. That's all obedience means. When you're a kid growing up, you need to be obedient to your parents. They're trying to raise you to be safe, to learn how to live your life, and so that when you go out on your own, you're able to do so without failing miserably. So they expect you to be obedient. You should be obedient to your parents, obedient to people in authority, your principal at school, your teachers, your law enforcement, those types of things. If you're in the military, you know what obedience is. You learn really quick. You're obedient to your drill sergeants. You're obedient to your squad leaders. You're obedient to your platoon leaders, to the officers in charge. And it goes on and on and on all the way up to whoever. All right? So obedience. All right? Obedience is just following directions and being compliant with those in authority. Again, there's always a catch. Being obedient is, and we'll get into this in detail when we cover it in detail, but being obedient doesn't mean you follow every order, you follow every direction because of their authority. They must be lawful orders. And it's the same in the military. Military, you follow orders, period. You are trained to follow orders, but they are lawful orders. If somebody ever asks you to do something that is not lawful, not morally right, is wrong, you're not obligated to follow those. So there's a difference there, and we'll get into that in detail. But don't get hung up on the word obedience, all right? Respect and obedience. Those things are very important. in getting through life with little hassle, safely, and we'll get into that in detail. Next is self-control. Self-control can get you in, or I should say, lack of self-control can get you in a lot of trouble in your life. It can get you started on a very slippery slope where that it's like a slow fade into misery. Because if you don't have self-control, you have no self-control when it comes to drinking, drugs, sex, anything like that. If you can't control yourself, how are you ever supposed to be in charge and control other people? Not control, but lead other people. I shouldn't say control. But if self-control, if you can't control yourself, you can't lead others. All right? And if you can't control yourself, it just opens the door for a whole lot of problems down the road. A whole lot of problems. Self-control and self-awareness are probably one of the most important things, and it's the starting point of becoming a warrior in life. It's the starting point in the foundational principle that you need to build upon to make your life the way you want it. Number six is humility. All right, humility is being humble. You're not full of yourself. You're not sitting there as, okay, I'm the supervisor. Say you get promoted at work. You don't become full of yourself and all of a sudden you have this boss mentality where because you're promoted to supervisor, you're better than your peers and that you start bossing them around. This ties very closely into self-control, because if you're at work and you have no self-control, you go out with your coworkers, you bad talk the company, you go out and get drunk with people, you go out and act a fool with people, your coworkers, then all of a sudden you decide you want to get promoted. And now you're promoted and you're in charge of those same people that you were acting the fool with. You're gonna have a hard time, a real hard time, telling them what to do, telling them how to do it, and supervising them, because your lack of self-control lost you their respect. So they may not even respect your position as a supervisor. So you see how these kind of start tying together and affecting each other. So humility is being humble. You know, it's being gracious. It doesn't mean like if you say you're say martial arts, okay? Say you're a tournament champion. You've won place top 2 or 3 in every single tournament you've got. You're very successful at that. It doesn't mean you walk around like you're Billy Badass and you know you're better than or tougher than anybody. You're unbeatable and you flaunt yourself and you're like always got your chest puffed out, and it's like people like that. Nobody wants to deal with people like that. Nobody wants to associate with people like that. You know, so it's like being humble and goes a long way with earning people's respect. So being humble, having humility, living a life of humility goes a long way in making life a lot smoother. And last but certainly not least, in the Tang Soo Do Tenets, number 7, Indomitable Spirit. Indomitable Spirit and perseverance go hand in hand. Perseverance is the ability to keep pushing on. Indomitable Spirit is what makes you stand back up when you're knocked back down. Indomitable Spirit means that you can never be broken. You will never quit. You will never say die. You can be not, if you're ever in a situation where you are fighting to defend yourself on the street, the Indomitable Spirit means you keep fighting to your last breath. You keep swinging. You keep getting up. It doesn't matter if life knocks you down. Doesn't matter if you lose your job. Doesn't matter how bad a situation gets. An indomitable spirit enables you to look it square in the eye and fight. No matter what it is. You could lose your job. You can lose all your money. You can go bankrupt. You can become ill. Whatever it is, your indomitable spirit says,
You're not going to take it lying down. You're not going to go curl up in a corner or bury your head in the sand. Indomitable Spirit says you're going to stand up, you're going to face it head on, and you're going to kick its ass and keep charging forward. Indomitable Spirit. Never say die. That is number 7, but like I said, certainly not the least. So those are your 7. Those are your 7 Tang Soo Do Tenets. If you enjoyed this video and you think that your friends, your kids, anybody you know can benefit, be sure to share it with them. Also be sure to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up so more and more people can see it. And be sure to hit that notification button so that every time a new video comes out, you're notified and don't miss anything. You can go to my website at kevinwputala.com and subscribe there as well. Until next week, train hard, stay focused, stay positive, be kind to one another, and God bless. And don't ever, ever quit.